Now we move on to our next story. An appeals court has allowed President Donald Trump to keep control of National Guard troops he deployed to Los Angeles following protests over immigration raids. The decision halts a ruling from a lower court judge who found Trump acted illegally when he activated the soldiers over opposition from California Governor Gavin Newsom. It also found that even if the federal government failed to notify the governor of California before federalizing the National Guard as required by law, Newsom had no power to veto the president's order. Trump celebrated the decision on his Truth Social platform, calling it a big win. He wrote that all over the United States, if our cities and our people need protection, we are the ones to give it to them should state and local police be unable, for whatever reason, to get the job done. Meanwhile, Newsom issued a statement that expressed disappointment that the court is allowing Trump to retain control of the Guard, but he also welcomed one aspect of the decision. Now we have guests joining us for this discussion. John Rossomando, he's a president of Viking Research, joining us live from Washington, D.C. Thank you, John, for joining us today. Welcome to NewsX World. What precedent does this ruling set regarding a president's authority to deploy National Guard troops over the objections of a state governor?
Well, what it does is reaffirm the president's powers under the United States Constitution as the commander-in-chief of all armed forces of the United States, including we used to call state militias, now National Guard. I think that Gavin Newsom acted out of order, and the Democrats, when they said the president didn't have the authority to federalize the National Guard. I mean, you have precedents back in the 1950s when President Eisenhower federalized the Arkansas National Guard to open the Little Rock High School to minorities.
And building on this, what does this decision mean for blue state governors like Newsom, who may strongly oppose Trump's federal law enforcement policies?
It means they can't be obstructionists to the president's power. We have federal supremacy under our Constitution. Rogue state governors don't have the right to subvert federal law and federal officers from carrying out their constitutional duties. So this is a big blow to those who are trying to subvert our Constitution.
And does this decision effectively weaken the constitutional balance between federal and state powers in matters of domestic security then?
It does not. It reaffirms what the U.S. Constitution says in Article 4, that the federal government has supremacy over the states. I mean, it's not, we fought a civil war over 4 years in the 1860s because the states decided that they had the power, not the federal government. So, the Democrats are acting reckless and irresponsible here.
And, well, President Trump argued the deployment was necessary to maintain order after immigration-related protests. Was there a legitimate national security justification for this?
Well, under California's California Values Act of 2016, I think, the California authorities, such as the LAPD, were not allowed to work with ICE agents on deportation. This gave the president the ability and the authority to protect his ICE agents from being harassed and attacked by unruly mobs of anti-ICE protesters.
And is there a danger of militarizing responses to civilian protests, especially in an election year?
Well, let's put it this way. If you have the state authorities refusing to do their jobs to quell violent riots, then the federal government, should step in and pick up the slack, because you have a right to protest peacefully. You don't have a right to obstruct. You don't have a right to throw Molotov cocktails. You don't have a right to assault police officers. So the president did the right thing.
You will stay with us, John, as we take one breaking news right now. We have a breaking news. Russia has demanded Israel to immediately cease attacks and raids on Iran. Russia also said that targeting of Iran's peaceful civilian nuclear facilities liable to plunge U.S. into a Hitler to unseen nuclear catastrophe. Meanwhile, Russia's UN ambassador blames Israel for attacking Iran, disregarding diplomatic efforts. Now we move back to our guest discussion. John, if you could hear me, should we expect more legal challenges from governors if Trump continues to deploy troops in Democrat-controlled cities or states?
Well, lawfare is the Democrats' way of doing things. They'll bring challenges, but then they'll be swatted down in the courts, because ultimately the Constitution gives the president, as the commander-in-chief, the authority and the discretion to deploy the National Guard and federalize it to quell uprisings, quell disturbances, when you have state authorities who won't do their job. President Trump learned from the George Floyd riots of 2020 that he can't trust the governors.
And from a national risk perspective, how do you assess the stability of intergovernmental cooperation if such rulings become the norm?
Well, all I have to say is that we used to simply accept that the Constitution gives the president and the federal authority supremacy. But in recent years, we've had those who question and reject it. So I think it's the Democrats pushing constitutional crises to serve their political goals in the ballot box.
Thank you very much, John Rossomando, for joining us and sharing your insight and expertise with us all the way from Portland. Now we move on to our next